Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is day 2 of going through all the books that I own, that I've read, that I've loved, and just gushing about some favorites. This next shelf is romance. And I have a lot of romance because I actually have more romance where you can't see it. But we will start with this romance. And honestly, I just put my shelves together like this. And I did it based on size of the book, which is weird for me. So let's start with the only hardback on this shelf, which is P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern. Yes, just like the movie. This was so good. Here's the thing. I watched the movie originally, and then I had no intention of reading the book. But when I first started my channel, one of my lovely subscribers left a comment about if I like stuff that's gonna destroy me, I should read P.S. I Love You. And I kind of let it sit there for like a year. And then I finally got the courage to go buy a copy of P.S. I Love You and read it right away. And I'm very happy that I did. So this follows Holly and Jerry. Jerry gets sick. And he knows he's gonna die. And Holly, Jerry is Holly's, they're each other's everything. They mean the world to each other. They've been together since high school. And Jerry gets sick. And while he's still alive, I'm so sorry if you can hear that. I think the base, the Air Force Base, is practicing today. So we're just gonna roll with it. Gosh. But Jerry leaves these letters and these things for Holly, and she has to go out and live her life. He's like, I know you're hurting. I know you love me. He's like, so specific dates come around, like her birthday, and he's like, you're gonna go out with the girls, you're gonna do karaoke, this, and she's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And he even wrote in the letter, he's like, yes, you are, Holly, you can do this, you're strong. And honestly, it's just like such a perfect story. I do have to say that the movie actually really holds up to the book. But if you just want a big sob story and you haven't read P.S. I Love You, please do. I know that there's another book in this series, and for a long time I owned it and was gonna read it, but I don't know. This is simply a perfect book, and I don't want to ruin it with other books. I don't want to ruin it by reading another book set in the same, series. I'm not crying. You're crying. Then I have The Infinity Between Us by N.S. Perkins. I read this year. And I had it from the library, and I really, really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. And I was like, oh, I need this book to go to my trophy collection because I've already read it. And I don't remember anything about this book. I know it's like second chance romance, and that I enjoyed it while I was reading it, but I don't ever think about it. And it's definitely not making my best of 2025 list. Okay, then I have The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I've read a few things by Rachel Lynn Solomon, and nothing beats The X Talk. So you follow these radio show hosts. There's Shay and I don't remember his name. Shay and Dominic. And they have this rivalry on air. They don't really like each other much. But they come up with this idea. I think Shay pitches this idea of doing like the X Talk radio show because their ratings are plummeting. And the X Talk is basically where these exes talk on air and give relationship advice, and it's just like kind of a goofy good time. And her boss takes her very seriously and decides that now Dominic and Shay need to be fake exes. So it's like fake dating, but like a different kind of spin on it. And the banter and the chemistry in here was just like, so good. So if you just want like a fun, wholesome time, read the X Talk. Like, it was so good. It was I love the fake dating trope. That's one of my favorite like contemporary tropes. And the way that Rachel Lynn Solomon like took that trope and like reversed it was so good. This amazing. 10 Rules for Faking It by Sophie Sullivan. And this follows Everly, who is just not having a good time. Her boyfriend dumped her on her birthday. She got a tonsillectomy on her birthday. And she caught her boyfriend who she caught her boyfriend who dumped her cheating on her before he dumped her. And she's not having a good time. I think she's turning 30, but I don't remember. She's a radio show producer. And her best friend, Stacy. Oh, man. Stacy comes up with this idea that for the radio show, she should date like multiple different guys at the same time, and then they will talk about it on the radio and have viewers kind of vote on which guy she should like keep dating and stick with. But the only problem with that, like, Everlyn didn't want to do it at all. But then what becomes the major problem is that she does end up falling for one of the men that was, like a contestant. Then we have The Dating Dare by JC Lee. Okay, so this is my first, like, brother's best friend. Okay, but in this, the brother, so her best friend is his sister. And he's slightly younger than she is. Her name is Tara. His name is Seth. And they go after his sister's wedding, and which is her best friend. They go to the bar because now they're feeling a certain type of way. Like, yes, they're happy that their friends just got married, that their sibling and love of their life got married. They're happy for them, but they're also kind of like a midlife crisis. But I think that they're only 20 something, so a little young for a midlife crisis. But, they both get drunk, like hammered. And he somehow, he dares her. He, like, makes a bet. Like, hey, we can go on, I think, like, 5 dates. And if you don't fall in love with me, then that's fine. We'll just call it quits or whatever, because I think she's moving for her job. And he's like, we have enough time for 5 dates. If you don't fall in love with me, then, you know, no sweat off my back. But when you fall in love with me, you got to make long distance work or something to that effect. And she's like, no, you're my best friend's little brother. And, you know, then chemistry kind of flies, and the banter in here is so stinking cute. And I just really love the bet aspect, like the setup of a bet and finding your love. It was just great. Do Not Fall in Love by Jackie Lu. This is my favorite Jackie Lu. I've read a few and never really got the feels. Except for the first book that I read by her. This was my all-time favorite of hers. But this is like a baker and an actor. I hate following actors in Hollywood and stuff, but in this one it worked. So this is a small town romance, and I don't remember why Ryan is in Toronto. Oh, he's in Toronto for his movie that they're filming. He's a rom-com actor. And her name is not Baker, Lindsay. Lindsay lives in Toronto, and she's a baker. And he starts going to the bakery, usually to work on the computer. But then he kind of starts noticing Lindsay and flirting with Lindsay. And then something happens to his actor career. He's in the limelight for a bad reason. And his publicist was like, well, why don't you go back to that bakery and you can learn to bake and do like these pop-up type things to kind of help his reputation. And then they start like fake dating while he's working at the bakery, kind of, but not really. And then she starts teaching him to bake, and they fall in love. This one was buy one get one half off, and this one was definitely worth it. This is Drunk on Love by Jasmine Guillory. So you follow Margaret and Luke. Margaret and Luke have a one-night stand. And all is fine and dandy. Margaret has she's not gonna call him. She's like, no, it's a one and done type of thing. And Luke was like, all right. I mean, he was trying to get in contact with her, but Luke starts working at this winery the very next day after they, bada bing. And guess who his new boss is? You guessed right, it's Margaret. And, it could have been like, oh, it was just a one night stand. We don't have to speak about it. We don't, And that would have been okay. Not great, because she is his boss. And there is a bit of an age gap, if I remember correctly, but the chemistry between them just keeps pulling them towards each other, and they have a secret relationship. Then we have The Royals Next Door by Karina Hale. So a prince and a princess move in next door to you and your shenanigans, and you and the bodyguard start having like chemistry and banter, and it's actually been a while since I read this one. I don't remember how amazing it is, so this one I kind of want to reread before I full-heartedly recommend it to everyone. So then we have How to Fail at Flirting by Denise Williams. This is kind of like a Hallmark movie, but in book form. Nyla, I think her name is not Nyla. Naya. Nia's job is in jeopardy. The university that she works at is probably going to be overtaken by a big company, and that big company is Jack, or like he works for that company, and he comes in and they're trying to move everyone around and fire people and change everything at the office. And before she knows who Jack is, they have a one night stand. And then she has to, when she returns to work and sees that he's the one trying to take over her entire company, things get spicy. Okay, then we have The Fastest Way to Fall by Denise Williams. And this one follows Britta and Wes. Wes is like this fitness app creator, and Britta works as a journalist, so it starts as like a experiment type of thing where she's a journalist and she wants to get in shape anyway, and so she starts exploring different fitness apps, including Wes's, and then they kind of slowly start falling in love with each other as she is doing the as he's like being her personal trainer. Then we have You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle. This follows an already established couple. This is Naomi and Nicholas. They are fiancés, but neither one of them wants to call off the wedding because they think that like if he calls off the wedding that he's gonna have to pay for it, or his family will, and vice versa. She doesn't want to call it off because she doesn't want to have to pay for a wedding that's not gonna happen. But it's like a hate to love, even though they're already in a relationship. They've just got so much built up like anger towards the other one, and they just strongly dislike each other. And through the process of like learning about their life today and looking back at how they first met and how they first fell in love, maybe can they fall in love again? Can they get back to being more than enemies? Then we have Do I Know You by Emily Wibberley Austin Sigma Broca. Oh, Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigma Broca. These are married authors that have written a few romances. I think they usually write young adult romance. I'm not a young adult girly, but Do I Know You follows Eliza and Graham, who are next to their 5-year wedding anniversary. And because it's their 5-year wedding anniversary, Graham's mom pays for an all expenses paid trip to Hawaii. And his mom is hoping that they'll rekindle their flame and kind of become stronger and fall in love again. But they really, all they do is fight and bicker, and they don't like each other. And so it's kind of along the same lines of You Deserve Each Other. If you like one of these, I think you'll like the other. But I definitely preferred Do I Know You because, it takes place in Hawaii, and they start kind of like, they're like, hey, you want to come to my room? Because they get separate rooms, and everything's not going well. And then they're kind of just like flirting with each other and making the other person feel wanted again, and that's all they really needed from each other. Okay, and then Wedding Dashers by Heather McBreen. I actually read this year. This follows these two, Ada and Brian. I don't think his name is Brian. Jack and Ada. So Ada is trying to get her to her little sister's wedding while Jack is on the same flight. And they finally realize, after almost having a one-night stand, but choosing wisely not to, they realize they're going to the same place. So they might as well travel together. Even though everything they've tried to do, like all the traveling has been a traveler's nightmare. Like the plane got grounded because of snow, the train left without her, there are so many things going on, and like it's just one catastrophe after another. And through all the catastrophes and the messiness, they like each other. I only give this one 4 stars. I say only 4 stars. It's a very good book and I really enjoyed it. This one was kind of funny and a little bit messy for some certain things that happened, but that would be a spoiler. But I very much loved the chaos that is Wedding Dashers. And then the last one on this shelf was Not Safe for Work by Nisha J. Tooley. So these two work in the same office and they are both up for a promotion. They're like fighting it out for this promotion. They're rivals. The tenseness, like it's so tense with them. And I think it's because you can tell that they like have such strong chemistry, but neither of them is going to admit it. So the tenseness, like if you like a really good tense romance, then read this. Also, they go to Maui, I think, to have this like business conference, and whichever one makes more connections gets the promotion or is at, a higher playing field to getting the promotion that they both desperately want. And things get very, very spicy in Maui. And the tenseness, it's just so tense. And it's like we're walking on eggshells with them around the other person, and it was great. It was so good. But that is all the books on this romance shelf. I have more romance, don't worry. And then I also have this picture of little Alita. She's little. My mama. And my baby brother. He's no longer a baby. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and if you've read any of these books, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to just show that you're here, but you don't feel like chatting, that's okay too. You can just put like a little cloud emoji